So this is a video for workshop 3, and I am discussing module 2 in your workbook, which is adding value. So during the training I talked about the value of creating a job description. Now you may already have a job description that HR have given you, but what I'm talking about is writing your own job description where you create your role and make your role the best that it can possibly be. I want you to be the person who's done the best job who's ever been in your position. And the easiest way to define what you want to be able to do and how you want to add value is by creating that job description. If you think about your inspiration people, if Oprah was doing your job, if Bill Gates was doing your job, if, well, Warren Buffett's a bit old, but if someone with the mind of Warren Buffett, but whoever, Jeff Bezos, whoever your inspiration person is, if they were doing your job, how would they do it differently, and what would they do to get the maximum results that you can possibly get from your job? So in the workbook you'll see that there is an example of a job description. So the first thing you want to do is just summarize the key things that you do in your job and how you can add value every day. Then when you actually list out what you do, list out what you currently do, and then list out what you would love to do. What would someone who is a real high achiever, who could do anything, what would they do if they had your position? And then you want to list out everything that you can dream of doing. So it's kind of like what you currently do, and then it's your wish list. And then you want to be able to highlight everything that you do really well currently. And then you look at those things and you look at how you could get it done quicker. Now, I'm not talking about dashing through it and just getting it off your plate. I'm talking about increasing process improvements, increasing efficiency, and making the process of doing whatever that task is as streamlined and efficient as possible. And then you need to look at all the tasks that you currently do. Should you be doing them? If you are doing a task that's redundant, if you're creating a report or whatever it may be that nobody ever looks at, nobody ever cares about, then you need to figure out if you actually need to do it. Don't just stop doing it. If if there's other people who rely on you for a process, talk with everybody who you have an impact on and discuss whether the task that you've identified is actually redundant. Now you need to highlight tasks where you can improve. And you need to, again, ask the same questions. Can you get this done quicker? Could the process be streamlined? And do you have to do it? Now, what you also have to accept is you can only control yourself. So the key to getting a process done quicker is not if that person across the hallway from me did their job properly. You can only suggest process improvements that you have control over. You can always suggest that someone else should do a better job, but you're probably not going to have much success. It goes back to leading by example and inspiring people to do better. And then you need to list all the obstacles that are stopping you from making those improvements. And then also look at the dream responsibilities that you wish you had, or that if the perfect employee was doing your job, what would they do differently? How can you make those tasks that you've identified, all those responsibilities that you would like to have, how can you make that happen? You know how to create a really good action plan. So if it's something complicated, if you need to justify an expense, write everything down on an action plan and all the obstacles that you need to overcome to be able to get more training, to increase your responsibility, to streamline the process, to do something better, or to get rid of redundant responsibilities. Write it all down and create a strategy. Because if you report to someone, and most of us do, if you go and complain about something, they'll probably just brush you off and move on to the next thing. But if you go into a meeting with them with a logically laid out plan, which shows the impacts and the time frame and the costs and the impact, then you're much more likely to be able to make those changes. So at the end of the exercise, you should have a fully formed job description for what you currently do now, and then you've identified how you could do it better and the steps that are needed, and you'll also have a list of tasks that you wish you could do, and again, the obstacles stopping you from being able to do those tasks, and an action plan to be able to make it happen. So good luck, think big. Think of all the things that you wish you could do, and most importantly, focus on how you are adding value in your job. Good luck.